Halloween horror. At least a dozen shot in mass shooting, including children. This is from ABC7 LA. At least a dozen people, including children, are shot in a Halloween night drive-by shooting during a vigil on Chicago's West Side. Another person is hurt after being hit by a car in the incident. Just what triggered the explosion of violence? Eyewitness News with an update on the critical injured victims this morning at 6 from ABC7. Yeah, I mean, Chicago definitely known for gun violence, and all the Second Amendment worshipers and conservatives will say, "Oh, it's a blue city. It's got very strict gun laws," but cities, in many instances, do not have the ability to make specific gun laws. And the thing with the fact that gun laws aren't federally regulated means that a lot of the guns that are used in shootings in Chicago come from out of state. And if you want to look at gun violence and how that breaks down to the voting tendencies of the state, in general, red states have the most gun violence. So, you know, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the facts of the situation and break it down and do your actual research, red states have the most gun violence. Even blue cities in red states, you can't really do much if the state laws can't be dictated by the city. And it's pretty clear that access to tools specifically designed to end life effortlessly are tools that are used to end life effortlessly. And to have those tools accessible to everybody makes it way easier for people who want to end life effortlessly acquiring those tools, right? Pretty easy. Tools to do a job. If the job you want done is to end life, you get the tool that's most likely used in ending life, most convenient. Little children are able to end life with the use of the tool. That's how like little education a human being needs to use a gun to kill somebody. Little children are able to do it. And it's unnecessary. I am all for regulating guns, automatic weaponry, AR-15s, machine guns, all those things, assault weapons should be things, weapons used for war should be heavily regulated. I am way more in line with the gun laws of Canada than I am with the majority of the United States. And because mass shootings, like in this story, not only happen outside in places where outside drive-bys happen, but also tons of kids are being murdered all the time. Mass shootings more than there are days in the year. So, if you want to stop kids from dying from gun violence, we need to start regulating guns. Pretty easy. And I know all the Second Amendment worshipers are very triggered by these radical ideas that I have, and they want to share the information that they've ingested from all of the memes that fill all of their social media accounts, right? They've been studying all the propaganda of how to argue with some liberal about gun regulation and how it's their right, it's in the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. Even though it says well-regulated in the Second Amendment. Assault rifles weren't really invented when these old people who didn't know shit wrote the Constitution. A document that's supposed to be, is designed to be changed, is designed to evolve and change with the times, should have been rewritten multiple times over the years. The fact that people are listening and following their version of of words that have been translated into whatever suits. Like, they want to own a lot of guns, so they will translate these weird bearing arms into, like, yes, we should be able to arm ourselves, with the delusion that, one, they're going to stop tyranny, despite the fact I didn't see any gun owners trying to stop January 6th, right? I would imagine a lot of gun owners participated in January 6th, right? So not really trying to stop tyranny in any way. And the massive delusion that some local militia is somehow going to find success fighting against the largest military in the world. Right? Even our police departments are larger than most countries' militaries. And they think they're going to buy enough guns to somehow overthrow the government, to stop the police and military from doing whatever they want. I mean, you don't own fighter jets, you don't own tanks. There's a lot of weaponry that is not at your disposal that not only the U.S. military, but other militaries around the world have access to. So those delusional excuses for your quote-unquote right to own an assault weapon are pretty laughable. And it's sad. It's really sad how just desperate you are to defend gun manufacturers and guns way more than you are children dying, women getting their freedoms taken away, way more than you care about poor people. And like instead of actually helping people, you just want to be selfish. You don't want them taking away your little toy gun, because you want to be able to kill people. You buy a gun because you want to be able to kill people. You say it's to defend yourself, but it's not a defensive gun. Guns don't stop bullets. Somebody comes, breaks into your house to shoot you, your gun doesn't block these bullets, right? You bought a gun for the delusional idea that you're somehow going to kill that person before they get a chance to kill you, right? But it's to kill somebody. You bought it to kill somebody, right? Like, I bought a hammer to pound a nail into a piece of wood, right? I didn't buy a hammer to make a salad, right? You buy a gun because you want to use it for what it was invented for, ending life, right? Maybe it's to hunt, but nobody needs assault rifles to hunt unless you're in Texas flying in a helicopter trying to take out invasive hogs, in which case you don't need to have that gun in your home. You can have that regulated, locked up somewhere for when you're going to go hunting. Then you get it out, right? Maybe take tests to prove that you have gun literacy, that you know how to be safe, right? When you get a driver's license, you have to take a written test, you have to take a practical test, and then you just get a permit. Before you even get your license, you have to get insurance in case you accidentally cause damage, right? You don't have to buy insurance with a gun. You don't have to get a license. You don't have to take tests. Some places maybe, but in most cases, like if you're in Texas, they almost give you a gun for moving to Texas. So I'm sorry, all the Second Amendment worshipers out there, the people that think the Second Amendment was bestowed right given to them by the Lord Jesus Christ himself, right? He flew down from heaven in his tank and signed the document himself, specifically saying that bear arms equals AR-15s and other assault rifles. I know you're crying. I know you're upset. And I will gladly delete whatever nonsense you try and flood my comments with, right? And I know if this is on social media, if I go to your account, if it's not a burner account, if it's not a private account, you actually have a public account, every single post is going to be some propaganda meme, because that's your identity. That's who you are, is just a propaganda meme. So anyway, horrific. Halloween. Surprising. I didn't see any stories about fentanyl. I guess all the drug dealers decided not to give away drugs. Whew, crazy. Didn't see any razor blades either, right? So that the stuff they were trying to make you scared of when I was growing up still doesn't exist, right? But this real threat, is this like thing that people like defend, like will try to overthrow the government in order to defend this desire they have to keep their little guns, right? Nobody cares about that, right? There's proof. There's literally proof of concept in every country that has severe gun laws that they work. There's proof in this country when assault rifles were banned, it worked. It brought mass shootings down, right? There's proof everywhere that gun laws will help decrease this type of tragedy. But that's not what their propaganda gets them scared about, right? Their propaganda gets them scared about rainbow fentanyl and like drag shows. That's the thing that's what these patriots are scared of. Drag shows. Just ridiculous. There's this most pathetic scaredy cats who get so emotional. They get triggered by me even mentioning trigger warning. The warning itself is triggering to them. How dare you try to warn me that I'm going to get emotional? I'm so emotional about that.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can